The White House is finally getting a $200 million ballroom, and Trump is making sure it's impossible to ignore. But why is this decades-old idea only happening now, and what will it really look like? Stick around to see the full plans, the historic inspiration, and the jaw-dropping scale that will triple the East Room's capacity. Before we waltz into Trump's White House ballroom, make sure to step over and subscribe to Design Zip for the latest on architectural marvels and mega projects. If there is one thing Donald Trump knows, it's how to build something glamorous and impossible to ignore. This is the man behind Trump Tower in New York, the Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, the Trump International Hotel in Washington, and the huge golf resorts in Turnberry and Aberdeen. He has spent decades constructing luxury spaces meant to impress, and now he is turning that same attention to the White House. Trump has openly shared his opinion on the matter. The current setup for large events is a logistical mess. The East Room, which is the largest indoor space available, can hold only around 200 seated guests. When state dinners or major receptions call for more, the solution has been to erect a massive temporary tent on the South Lawn. It is functional, sure, but it is hardly the grand image the US wants to project when hosting kings, queens, and presidents. Trump says that the tents are unsightly and a disaster when it's bad weather. Rain or snow means guests have to trek across the lawn, sometimes in the dark. This makes them feel like they are in a wedding rental. This is why Trump's ballroom vision isn't new. Back in 2016, while Barack Obama was still president, Trump offered to donate $100 million of his own money to build a proper ballroom. At the time, the offer was dismissed. Obama's press secretary even said that a shiny gold Trump sign was not exactly what the White House needed. The idea went nowhere, but Trump didn't forget it. Now that he is in his second term, he has finally initiated this project. The new ballroom will replace the East Wing as we know it. This is the side of the White House that has traditionally housed the First Lady's offices, social staff, and a few other administrative spaces. That structure, which was first built in 1902, will be torn down to make way for the ballroom. Offices will be temporarily relocated while construction takes place. The design is in the hands of McCreary Architects. They are a Washington-based firm known for its classical style. The ballroom will be built to harmonize with the White House's historic architecture. There will be no glass boxes or modernist concrete blocks here. Renderings show a gold and white interior with ornate columns, glittering chandeliers, and detailing that wouldn't look out of place in a European palace. The architectural inspiration is clearly drawn from the same neoclassical heritage that shaped the original 18th century design for the White House. The scale is equally impressive. The place will be 90,000 square feet. There will be seating for around 650 guests. This is more than triple the capacity of the East Room. The space will be designed to host everything from formal state dinners to large-scale ceremonies, concerts, and major cultural events. It will also have the latest security features built in. Apparently, the US Secret Service is involved in the planning and helping with this task. Construction will be handled by Clark Construction, a firm with experience in high-profile, complex projects. AECOM will lead the engineering team. According to the White House, work is scheduled to begin in September 2025. If everything goes according to plan, it will be completed well before Trump's term ends in January 2029. The great thing is that funding will come entirely from private donations. This includes Trump himself and some other unnamed donors. Trump is really excited about this project. He is directly and personally involved in all related matters. He has been meeting with architects, National Park Service representatives, and security officials to ensure every detail is right. It is his habit to keep a hands-on approach to his properties. During his career, he was known for walking construction sites, approving materials, and demanding specific design touches. If the final result matches the plans, the White House will finally have a venue worthy of its status. And that status was not built overnight. It is the product of more than 2 centuries of history. The White House has been home to every US president since John Adams moved in on November 1st, 1800. It was the work of James Hoban, an Irish-born architect from County Kilkenny, who knew how to make a building both elegant and powerful. His design was inspired partly by Dublin's Leinster House, and that Irish link is still a point of pride today. It is not just history buffs who talk about it. Back in 2014, when Joe Biden was vice president, he stood in the East Room with the American and Irish flags behind him and reminded everyone of that connection. He quoted John F. Kennedy's words to the Irish Parliament: "Our two nations, divided by distance, have been united by history, and nothing exemplifies this bond more than this building." It was designed by an Irishman named James Hoban. Biden proudly mentioned Hoban, who left his legacy in the form of the White House. The White House story started in 1792, when construction began. It took 8 years to finish. The sandstone came from Aquia Creek, coated in white paint to protect it. George Washington chose the site and shaped the plans, but he never got to live there. The honor went to John Adams and his wife Abigail, who moved in before it was even finished. The building's history is not all grand dinners and celebrations. In 1814, during the War of 1812, British troops set it on fire. Only the blackened outer walls survived, and then James Hoban came himself to revive it. In just 3 years, he rebuilt the president's home, restoring its look while making subtle improvements. President James Monroe was the first to step into the repaired house in 1817. Over the years, the White House kept changing. The north and south porticos were added in the 1800s. This gave it the iconic look we know today. Inside, each president put their stamp on the place. By the early 1900s, it was so overcrowded that Theodore Roosevelt built the West Wing to move the offices out of the main house. The most dramatic transformation came in the late 1940s. By then, the building was literally falling apart. Floors had started creaking and the walls were sagging. Harry Truman had no choice but to gut the entire interior. He rebuilt it with a steel frame and kept only the historic outer shell. When he was done in 1952, the inside was completely new, but the White House still looked the same from the outside. First ladies have also shaped the White House. In the 1960s, Jackie Kennedy brought in authentic period furniture, art and style. She turned it into both a home and a museum. She even introduced the first official White House guidebook so the public could appreciate its history. From hosting royalty and world leaders to signing historic treaties, the White House has been the stage for America's biggest moments. It has survived fires, renovations, wars, and endless political battles, and now with Trump's ballroom on the way. Now he has very specific plans for this ballroom, and they tie directly to his views on how America's most important buildings should look. Trump wants the ballroom to look like it has always been part of the White House. He wants it to blend in with the same neoclassical design James Hoban created over 200 years ago. Tall columns, grand staircases, symmetry, chandeliers. He wants a look that represents tradition and permanence. That fits perfectly with something Trump has been pushing for years. Back in 2020, he signed an order called Promoting Beautiful Federal Civic Architecture, and when he returned to office, he brought it back. The vision is that new federal buildings should be visually identifiable as civic buildings and follow traditional, regional, or classical styles. In other words, no more plain concrete boxes or weird modern shapes. He thinks federal buildings should make people proud. Trump's been open about his dislike for brutalist and overly modern architecture. He says it's cold, ugly, and out of touch with America's history. He wants courthouses, embassies, and yes, the White House ballroom, to send a message of dignity and beauty. That's why he is bringing in architects who know how to work with historic designs. The goal is a ballroom that looks perfect and blends in with the rest of the White House that, 100 years from now, people might assume it has been there since the beginning. Trump's new White House ballroom will be a $200 million, 90,000 square foot space, blending historic design with modern luxury, finally replacing the cramped East Room. Personally, I think it is an impressive statement of grandeur, though some may question the timing and cost. What do you think? Should the White House embrace this extravagant addition or keep things more modest? Share your thoughts in the comments. For more videos on the world's most fascinating buildings, mega projects and design innovations, make sure to subscribe to Design Zip. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.